Hey dudes, I'm Hilah, and today on Hilah Cooking, I'm gonna show you how to make portobello mushroom fries. We're gonna take some portobello mushrooms, slice them up, cover them in some crispy stuff, bake them in the oven, and then whip together a quick little creamy sour cream sauce to dip them into. So it's like French fries, but they're healthy. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and click that little red subscribe button right now. I'll wait. Okay, got it. We're gonna start out slicing some portobellos. You wanna cut them, I would guess about 1/4 of an inch thick. That seems about right. And I don't know, I imagine you could do the same thing with regular button mushrooms and cut them into quarters. I think that would be totally fine if you can't find portobellos or if they're too ridiculously expensive at the time. And one thing I love about portobello mushrooms is that you can do this. Look, it's a mustache. Okay, that was stupid. So I'm gonna lay them out. This step is optional, but it does make your portobello fries way, 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 way better than if you skip it. We're basically gonna spread them out in a single layer, and it doesn't take that much more time. I think it's totally worth it. And sprinkle them evenly with some salt. Just a little sprinkling. Cover that with a clean towel. I'm using a little dish towel here, but paper towel works too. And then put some weight on it. And this is just gonna draw out the water. If you skip this step, it still will work, but your portobello fries end up a little bit kind of spongy. And if you do this little step, then they end up more like chewy and meaty. One of my friends who taste tested this recipe said it reminded her of a chicken nugget, so that's cool. All right, I'm just gonna let this sit here for about 5 minutes or so, and then we'll come back and bread them. I used my molcajete to put a little bit more pressure on my portobello slices. Let's see what we have. So you can tell some moisture's pulled out. You can see, yay. Okay, great. So now I'm just gonna do a little bit of flour. I'm just gonna do it right on the board. Just a very, very light coating on both sides of our mushroom strips. And then I've got an egg here. And I've got panko and Parmesan. So I'm gonna mix these together. And you can use regular breadcrumbs too, but I like the panko better for this in particular. It makes them crunchier. And the panko, somehow it doesn't, it's not as easy to burn as regular breadcrumbs. And the salt and everything, the seasoning, we already have that sort of incorporated right into the mushrooms because you're, along with pressing the water out, you're also pressing the salt in. And then a little bit of salt in the Parmesan. We got the seasoning covered. So then we're just doing this. Just a little egg, a little crumbs, and then onto the baking sheet in a single layer. I'm using parchment, but if you don't have parchment, you can just oil your pan. Once they're all coated, we're gonna put them in a 425-degree oven for just about 15 minutes. Doesn't take very long. While they're cooking, I'm gonna show you how to make the sour cream dip. For the dip, I'm using some full-fat sour cream. I'm gonna use a garlic press, I never use this, to squeeze in a clove of garlic, just because I wanna make sure it's like so tiny. It should just sort of disintegrate into the dip. And some fresh rosemary. Thyme is also really good. I think mushrooms just work really well with those really like sort of dark and earthy herbs. A little lemon juice. And a goodly amount of salt and pepper. I just wanna taste it. A little bit more salt. Okay, I'm just gonna let this sit at room temperature while the portobello fries bakes to let all those flavors mix together. But if you wanted to make it a couple days ahead of time and store it in the fridge, it just kind of gets better the longer it sits, I think. So BRB with some portobello fries. Okay, ta-da! There we go. So fast and easy. If you like this recipe and you want more mushroom recipes, check out my portobello mushroom tacos I did a couple months ago. They are delicious. Let's see. So you get some dip. This is how you eat things with dip, y'all. These are dope as hell. Wow, I love this. I can't believe I didn't even like mushrooms until a couple years ago. I love the hell out of these. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next week with another video. Have a great weekend. Bye.